What's going on, guys? Vista here, and a while back I did make a video about shooting fundamentals, just the basic stuff. Today I wanted to get a little bit more advanced as far as moving targets are concerned, but we'll get to that in a second. I want to show you guys something kind of cool in Battlefield 4. Basically, if we were out in the open and we had a really good overlook on the enemy position and we're sniping, we need to make some cover. So what we can do is apply C4 liberally and hit the plunger, and we've got our very own little foxhole that we can kind of head glitch and work our way, around, and it gives us a good bit of cover. Now if you get them too close together when you deploy it, you see this is kind of almost too steep for me to climb. So you want to spread them out, just something about like that is about the perfect. Makes us a nice little foxhole. So enough fooling around, but let me get to the topic at hand. But hitting our moving targets. Now there's two schools of thought, and actually two techniques for hitting a moving target, which are tracking and trapping. Now what I showed you before, which was getting our lead and moving with the target, that's called tracking. Trapping is when we hold on a spot and fire before the target gets there so that the target runs into the path of the bullet. What we use as a reference, this is the 20 times scope, and it has mil dots, which each one of those little dots on the reticle are 1 mil apart, and they give us a nice little reference point. Right now we're about 150 meters out, so if I spotted my targets here, and just a quick little bit of information, these bottom targets are the walking speed of a character, and the top targets are the sprint speed. So just to kind of give you a judge in what the speed is here, I did actually measure it out. So back to trapping. This is the method that I kind of prefer, and at this distance we need about just a little less than a 1 mil hold, so something kind of right about in there. And as you can see, tracking is pretty difficult. Trapping I find a heck of a lot easier. So what we do is we get out in front of our target a good distance. As soon as they're in range, we pull the trigger. So you saw, once my target hits about that just little less than a mil lead, I pull the trigger and the target moves right into the path of the bullet. Now with the sprinting speed here, we need about 1.5 mils. So I'm going to get out in front of it, and right at 1.5 mils, I pull the trigger. And we hit our targets that easy. So, as the distance increases to the target, that lead time is actually going to have to increase. So, 200-300 yards, you may be at 1.5 mils with this, the walking target, and you may be out to like 2 mils, 2.5 mils on the moving target, or the sprinting target. So you're going to have to adjust accordingly. Unfortunately, this is kind of the end of the island, and I can't push this back and tell you exactly what you need. And of course, this speed is, this muzzle velocity is for the M48-5, which is one of the slower rifles in the game as far as muzzle velocity is concerned. So actually, with the faster muzzle velocity, we actually hold a little bit less. So, something faster, we'd be down about 0.5 mil. But if you're like me and have trouble tracking, the trapping method is probably going to help you out a lot. It really works for me in game. And, of course, it's going to be a pretty, this is a pretty ideal scenario. They're moving exactly left to right and things like that. And if we're kind of getting an angle, we'll have to have a little bit less holdover. But, just for demonstration purposes, this is perfect. Nice flat range where we can hit our targets, all day long. So anyways, guys, that is the trapping technique. I hope that it helps you guys out. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. If you're new here, appreciate it if you subscribe. We'll have more techniques coming out. So anyways, guys, I do appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.